is tax reform dead for another generation? Independent MP Dai Le and Labor member for Robertson, Gordon Reid, join me today. Gordon, this is a question first to you. Is it dead?
No, absolutely not. And also, thank you for having me back on the show. But what I'll say is, no, it's not dead. And I think that's what this productivity roundtable that we're going to be having shortly is all about. It's making sure that nothing's off the table. It's about bringing industry together, and also too, it's about building consensus in the community. The comments that we've just heard by the Prime Minister is basically him saying we're going to stick to our election commitments, and I don't see a problem with that. That's not a problem. But no, reform isn't dead. We're a centre-left progressive government, and nothing is off the table. And I note the Treasurer has been in the media and has been speaking about the fact that nothing's off the table.
Yes,
whether it be tax, whether it be productivity,
Gordon,
whether it be wages.
It doesn't seem... The Treasurer is certainly ambitious, but that ambition seems to be tempered quite frequently by the Prime Minister making public comments like that.
No, I don't think so. And look, and that's what the round table's about. It's about making sure nothing's off the table. And like I said all those months ago on the beach at Ocean Beach, this is high-performance collectivism at its finest. It's making sure that we're getting everything done where we need to get done in the good and in the interests of the Australian people. And that's what this productivity roundtable's all about.
Dai Le, often we read between the lines in this job. What did you read from what the Prime Minister said yesterday?
Well, can I first of all say, Gordon, I hope this productivity roundtable will be productive because we have a lot of roundtables and summits, and hopefully there's going to be some outcomes at the end of this productivity roundtable to get Australia really kickstarting, building the economy, giving people confidence, and, you know, with the rising cost of living, of course, we have experienced energy bills rising, and I believe our water bills will be rising next. So I think people will be in for, you know, some really cost of living impact, especially in areas like Fowler. But look, we heard the Prime Minister saying he's sticking to the election. He did not take tax reform to the election, and which is great to hear that he is not going to introduce anything. Let's see if that's the case. But in terms of tax reform, I think, Laura, I've spoken on this program before, the need to look at, for instance, our income threshold, for instance, that was 18,200, which is a 2012, a rate, and I think that has to go up somehow. But that's, there's so many things, the low to middle income tax offset, which the Labor government took off when they won office last term, that has to be, I think, reintroduced for those who are struggling at the moment with the cost of living and can't afford to buy home batteries.
Lamato, go back to Lamato.
Yeah, look, what I'd say to some of those comments there is that this will definitely be productive. We were a very productive government over the course of the 47th Parliament, whether it be in tax cuts for all Australian taxpayers, whether it be for cost of living relief, both in my electorate of Robertson and your electorate of Fowler. And then we're continuing to do that with cost of living relief. I note the HEX changes are going to benefit tens of thousands of people in your electorate of Fowler. I know they're going to in Robertson right across the country. So that's what this government definitely is focused on.
One thing that is absolutely... Sorry, Dai, to cut you off, and I'll ask you on this as well, but I just want to go to Gordon on this work from home issue. Now, we know it was a big issue during the election. It was populist policy. I think Labor did a really good job of turning it into something it wasn't. It was just about getting public servants back. It's good enough for Chris Minns. He's still pushing for it in New South Wales and doing it, but apparently it wasn't good enough for Peter Dutton to push for it. Now you've got Jacinta Allen wanting to put it in law. Why should government even be intervening? And what does it say when the Treasurer of this country stands up yesterday or the day before and says, oh, well, the jury's out on work from home. It's not clear what the productivity benefits are. It's not all bad, but won't and can't bring himself, I suggest, because of populist policy, to say Victoria shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Gordon, to you first. Sorry.
Yeah, look, I think that's a matter for the Victorian government. But what I would say...
That's the whole point, Gordon. It's not a matter for the Victorian government. Why should it be?
We spoke about this during our last panel interview and working from home. And
but it's the dial's moved, though. This is about putting this in law. So what why does the government need to inject itself in Victoria? There's big constitutional questions about it anyway. And the reason the Treasurer was asked about it is because it is his jurisdiction. It is not Jacinta Allen's jurisdiction.
Well, look, and I think in an area like mine, a regional electorate, outer metropolitan, Central Coast, working from home is indeed popular policy because people then aren't spending the money on the commute, they aren't spending the money on food at their place of work, whatever it might be. They're saving money. It's a cost of living measure in my part of the world.
And I'm a supporter from working quite well, isn't it? And without government being involved at a state or federal level.
And I'm a supporter from working from home. What the Victorian government do is a matter for the Victorian government. But what I would say on working from home is it's a popular policy in my part of the world. It's a popular policy for the Australians that I speak to, particularly in my region of the Central Coast. And it's something that I supported in the last election. It's something that I support now. It's not only a cost of living measure, but also, too, it's a flexibility measure. It allows people to live happy, healthy, productive lives while also to being productive members of society and of the economy.
The point here is, Dai, whether a state government, should even be injecting itself in here.
Look, I think that the government should have very limited involvement and interfering into people's lives. I mean, working from home is great, and I think agree partly with Gordon's assessment in terms of it benefits sort of a small part of my community, but the majority of my community in Fowler are working in factories, retail, nurses, childcare, teachers. All of those roles, all of those jobs actually you can't do work from home, especially manufacturing, which is the largest employer here in Fowler. So there's certain benefit to public servants, of course. And that's, is supported, but it is, government should really not intervene in people's lives as little as possible.
Dai, we're trying to get an answer this morning as well as to why a Hamas sympathizer, a woman, has been given and granted a visa to come and live in Australia. She's posted after the October 7 attacks, really celebrating that attack and the death of people at the Nova Music Festival. Do you think... Well, first of all, what questions would you ask?
Look, from my perspective, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the I don't know what she said. I mean, I saw the media reporting sometimes. The media can be, can blow things up. I'm just looking at what you've
Praise be to Allah.
Yes.
Who has kept us alive to see this day. That's pretty much the summation of it.
Well, is she saying that she's alive, that they are alive? I mean, I don't know. But look, I think in Australia, we have a very strict, very rigorous policy in terms of immigration. For me, here in Fowler, people trying to bring families over, for caring visa, is so hard for them to come here. So I trust our immigration, rigorous way of assessing people's character and making sure that anyone that we are coming here to Australia contributes to the life and to the values and the culture of this country. And Australia is a safe country, so I hope that that's what our immigration policy have done and will continue to do.
Can I make some points on this, Laura, please, if that's okay? I'm going to make 2 points here. I understand that the Minister for Immigration's office is aware of this situation and is investigating it thoroughly as we speak. But I want to make this point very, very clear. If you are sympathetic to a terrorist organisation or a terrorist ideal, whatever that might be, you are not welcome in Australia. I'm going to say that very bluntly right now. I think that Dai is right. We have very robust immigration systems with Border Force, with the Australian Border Force and the Immigration Department, and they are to be commended. But if you are coming here to spread hate, to incite violence, you are not welcome in Australia.
Well, how do you square that with this visa being granted and that social media post we just saw, Gordon?
And that's what I'm saying. The Minister for Immigration's office is currently reviewing and investigating this matter as we speak. And I think that's entirely appropriate. But I think it's important that people watching this program now, across Australia, wherever they might be, around the world, that if you are here to incite violence, incite hate, spread hate, and are sympathetic to terrorist organisations and terrorist ideals, then you're not welcome in Australia.
Right. So can we take that to mean, Gordon, that you understand that this visa could be under review because of that social media post, because it would equate to, you know, the antithesis of social cohesion.
Well, what I'm saying is that the Minister's office is currently reviewing it as we speak, and I stand by my comments. We need to keep Australia safe. The social cohesion in Australia is paramount. It's our greatest strength, fighting extremism, and we need to make sure that we don't allow people into this country that spread hate and incite violence.
Do you see that as spreading hate?
I think the Minister's office is reviewing it at the moment, but I think if you are sympathetic or if you are in agreement with a terrorist organisation, then that's not up to standard.
It's hard to read that post as anything other than sympathetic, wouldn't you agree, to Hamas?
Oh, no, like I'm saying, it's if you are sympathetic to a terrorist organisation, a terrorist ideal, or the hate or violence that they're spreading, then to me that doesn't reach the threshold of the bar to come to our country.
I think I know what you're saying, Gordon, without you stepping over the line and the toes of the Immigration Minister. So I appreciate that. Dai, we'll have to leave it there. Gordon, always great to see both of you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.